Slam in your face.
What's up, everybody? We're back for a second podcast. I apologize. The sound quality wasn't that great. I was working with some weird speakers. Hopefully we got this figured out, and it'll sound a lot better for the second round. So, Derek, say hello to everyone again. Let them know you're back.
Hello, everyone, again, and I'm back. And long time no see, Mark.
Yeah, it's been a while. Not really. We've just been we took a quick pee break, and we're back. We have some. I've got some juice. I'm trying to come back from the vid. So yeah, we're gonna go for another the vid video. So yeah, we're gonna come back. We got a little bit more energy this time. We got through some basic questions. It'll get a little lighter for the second round here. We'll just talk about whatever. So, Derek, what do you want to ask me? I'm gonna put this ball in your court.
Oh boy, what do I want to ask you? What do I not know about Mark McGillicuddy? I guess now that you have one of your grails, your BRE, which is absolutely amazing. So
yeah,
shout out to Mark Hot Wheel.
Yep, Mark Hot Wheels for life.
Yep, Hot Wheel for life, man. And thanks for subscribing and tuning in to both of us.
He's a great dude. He's a great dude.
As well as everybody else who supports us and is subscribed to us. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you don't have to send us our holy grails for us to continue to like you, but it helps.
Yeah, it helps, but we still love you. Yeah. So I guess my question is what's your next grail? What's the next thing down the line that you're looking to acquire?
Probably the other BRE one. That has like the Spectre Flame. You know what I'm talking about? It's a beautiful car. The Spectre Flame BRE.
That car is fire.
Yeah. So I gotta have that one. I quenched my thirst a little bit on the Japanese Moon Eyes convention cars because Hewitts. I've got both variations from Hewitts. So that really kind of gave me some time to. I mean, his are probably better. Let's be honest. I mean, just the amount of blood and sweat and cat hair and everything that went into that custom,
and throat clearing and
throat
beeping
clearing
and all that stuff.
Beeps from the smoke detectors. It's just old. The battery's not dying. It's just old.
You said exactly what I was about to say. I guarantee that they are better than the originals.
Yeah.
Coming from Hewitt.
Yeah. It's, and as funny as he is, he told me that he dropped it and there's some kind of flaw in there. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. Like, he's just so hard on himself, man. Like, he's like the most hard on himself of any, and he's an amazing, it's like he just was born to customize Hot Wheel cars. It's like he was born for it because he just picked up a car. He was watching my wheel swap video and he saw people doing stuff. I think he might have even seen you making some customs and stuff, but he was like, oh, that's pretty easy, and he just started doing it, and he started off, and I remember watching his videos too. He was just doing basic wheel swaps. He was not even putting premium wheels on there or anything. He was just swapping wheels from one car to the next, and it couldn't have started out more like innocent and pure, and then all of a sudden it's just like, boom, he's doing these full gasser builds, and whatever you throw at him, he can pretty much do. So it's like he's just built for it. So for me, I love to brag about that because he always tells me, man, you got sent me down the rabbit hole, man. You and Derek and all you guys, and to be a part of that is really amazing. To who knows if he would have started doing it without my wheel swap video. Which was, for me, it didn't mean anything to me at the time, it's, but, and I've had a lot of other people, and I'm sure you have too, that I'm not trying to toot my own horn by any means, but it's like, I love being a part to teach people things and have them grow on their own because they have the capabilities to grow on their own. There's all that information on YouTube and on the internet and everything, just to get these people, send these people down the rabbit holes. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, amen to that. It's a perfect example of the influence that we have on each other, that we can, feed on each other and open new doors for each other and just make each other better. It's really awesome. And yeah, that's really cool. Like to this day that he still gives you credit for that wheel swap video. He was like, that's the beginning. That's when it started. And
yeah. Well, you know him. He's just real.
And now look what he's become. He's a fantastic customizer.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing. I don't know. Forgive me, but I don't know if he sent you any. But he was kind enough to send me one of his Badmans, and I was just blown away at the detail. I mean, I if it's one thing I have to give him credit for is making me think about inappropriate customs, putting nitrous bottles in, making a line that goes to the nitrous bottle to wherever you want it to go to. I mean, he opened up that. I never thought about that. And you just make it out of tubing. You make it out of two different sizes of tubing, and you got a nitrous bottle. And his creativity is off the chart. But after he posted his work video and what he does for a living, and the fact that he used to build model airplanes when he was younger, it's perfectly obvious why he picked it up so quick.
Yeah. I mean, if you're spending a lot of times, and I did some of that when I was a kid too, and I think you have to be somewhat artistic to do it. You don't have to be, but to be like really incredible, then you get into Jakarta diecast, he's amazing, and just the level of he's breaking like the mold on everything. He's a trendsetter, so he's coming up with this stuff, he's taking the doors off and creating suspension and like all this stuff. He's not watching other videos on how to do this. Maybe there's some other people out there that are doing that stuff, but a lot of the stuff he does, he is creating himself, from scratch. And he just really has an amazing eye for detail, steady hand, and he just seems like a good dude, and it blows my mind right now that I joined his members on YouTube, and then I'm a patron as well. But there's very few. He has very few, like members, and there's only maybe 2 or 3 patrons on his page. So all these people, he's got like 1 million subscribers, and all these people love to watch his videos and learn things and stuff, but they don't want to contribute, So to me, that's crazy. So I try to support him as much as possible. He's a major, influence in what I do for customizing things. I mean, I've got my own stuff, and my stuff's not near his stuff at all. I love polishing cars. That's what I really love to do. Since I started my first one at your house, I just love polishing cars. It just calms me. There's something about polishing cars that calms me down.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it. I could smell it a mile away. But yeah, since you touched on that, it's funny because if I remember correctly, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but
yeah,
wasn't I the one that showed you his videos?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we watched his videos on your TV. Yeah.
Yeah, it was I think the next time that you came down after you opened me up to this hobby, I was like, dude, you got to see this guy. And yeah, Jakarta is absolutely amazing. Just watching him grow. He's coming up on 1 million subs, and
he's over 1 million already.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Last time I checked, he was like at 800 or 900.
No, I mean like, he's over 1 million. I just noticed that. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but very much well deserved. And he was the person who inspired me to give customs a try, because I was like, man, that's just insane. I never would have thought about doing that if it wasn't for him. So, and none of my stuff is on his level, but honestly, I can't say whether or not I ever would have attempted a custom if I didn't watch those videos and get inspired.
Yeah. Yeah, that's he's a crazy dude, but yeah, he deserves the subscribers, and he deserves for I would say he deserves more people to help fund his page and his hobby, and he probably makes a pretty good living doing what he does. But think of how
Yeah.
many hours he puts into those cars that he builds, and he's doing them all the time, man. He's just like pumping them out. Um, they're just incredible. So yeah, I mean, he deserves to. I mean, there's people out there making a lot more money than him, doing a lot less than him. You know what I'm saying? Like influencers and all this stuff, the Kardashians and all these people that don't have
Amen.
anything to bring to the table. Nothing. They make Jake Paul, all these people. These just
Yeah, but
just
all these quote unquote influencers that really aren't just. I mean,
what are they
I
influencing?
can't tell you all the exactly what
You
are
gotta
they
be an idiot?
influencing. I can't tell you all the channels that my daughter watches, and they're just wasting stuff, trying all this product and wasting it, and I'm just like, what is happening?
Well, yeah, it's like
But
those.
yeah, I mean,
It's crazy.
but yeah, we can't expect everybody to love diecast. I mean, there's so many,
No.
but there's so many things to be inspired by, and you know, it's just it's awesome. I love being a source of inspiration, but at the same time, I love being inspired.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us, no matter what it is, with diecast or automotive, or just like charity stuff or whatever it is, I mean, we live as like humans, like we get inspired to do things and then we do it, and then, but a lot of times it takes somebody else to push you, because when you can't push yourself. So, I mean, I think just as individuals, I think everyone can try to help push, like not only, even if you struggle with something, help push somebody else to do something they've been talking about doing forever.
Isn't it kind of funny how we inspired each other?
Yeah.
You inspired me. You inspired me to start to give collecting Hot Wheels a shot,
Mm-hmm.
and then I turned around and convinced you to get into doing YouTube. I mean, it's just funny how things come full circle, ain't it?
Yeah, and it is, and now hopefully it inspired you to start a podcast, and you can start a podcast, and then what I don't know what we'll be doing next, but
You definitely have. I can't tell you how much I love doing this because I like interaction. That's why I love our live streams so much, is because we can interact with so many different people, and with a podcast you can sit down and you can have a genuine conversation one-on-one with somebody, and hopefully people listen and they digest the information or opinions or whatever it is, and hopefully they enjoy it. But yeah, I'm super excited to get a podcast started now, thanks to you.
well, that's awesome. I mean, it'd be nice to see some more people in the diecast community start podcasts and to be able to get onto theirs and have it kind of spread. I mean, but at the same time, if they don't want to, I mean, we kind of can capture the market, and on just not that we're making any money on it, but I think it's funny. I saw some meme about podcasts. It's like I got my first podcast check from Spotify, and it was like a half of a penny. It was like cut, So it's really not a lot of, but that's not the reason behind us doing anything. I hope people, and like we've talked about before, we're like Derek and I, and other people with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 subscribers. We're not making much money, and it's kind of just supplemental on the equipment that I purchased. I got mics. I got a $700 camera. It just all adds up. And if you want to bring people good content, you have to have good equipment, and it's not cheap. But if people are thinking that we're out here making a bunch of money, that's just that's false. That's not true, and that's not my goal. If I was able to someday, if I was able to get big enough and make a good chunk of money every month, I'd be pretty happy with that. But it's a lot of work and a lot of editing and it's just a lot of your time. So, the people that spend a lot of money putting all this together, or they pay somebody else to edit it because they want it to be better and they don't have the capabilities. It all costs money, so it's like, don't look down on people for making money. There's plenty of those people that have sold out and they don't talk to their number one, they're people that rode with them from the beginning. But I think you can agree with me, Derek, that we won't forget the people that started with us, on YouTube and wherever else, but mostly like YouTube. I remember all the people that started out with me and how involved they are to this day, like 8 months later. It's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's people that I see that, are still commenting, that commented on my very first hunting video. On my first hunting video was garbage. It was taken on my phone. It was absolutely terrible quality, terrible audio, and just looking back, but they're still here. It's great, and it's really important to be able to keep folks engaged, which is why I know that
Sure.
you're really good at this too, and a lot of creators are very good at this, but responding to every comment.
Yeah, everyone.
Whether positive or negative. Yeah, whether positive or negative, because people like to be acknowledged. I don't know about you, but I hate being ignored.
Oh yeah,
You know
none
what
of
I
us
mean?
like to be ignored. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And on a flip side, I had a question for you, Mark. If someone came up to you and said, or just typed in your video, "Hey man, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel," what would you tell them? It could be a list of things. It could be one thing that you've learned over your past. God, how long have you been on now? About 9 months?
About 8 or 9 months, something like that. Yeah, somewhere around there, under a year.
Yeah. What would you tell them would be a very important thing that got you 1,000 subs and got you your constant engagement? What would you say is important?
I would say probably the with YouTube and the tools that it has to be able to look at analytics and who your watchers are, your subscribers. It shows you what age ranges they are, what country they're in, what time they're on most. So for me, I kind of just pay attention to all that stuff. And I think the simplest thing, you can watch all the videos on YouTube. I've watched a lot of videos and wasted a lot of my time on watching the 5 things you can do to be able to get 10,000 subscribers tomorrow. Like all these stupid videos. I think the main thing is just giving people what they like. So try different things, make different videos, and see what results you get. It's just trial and error, So, just try a video and see how it goes. And if it doesn't go well, then try something else. Don't keep trying things that aren't working, So I think for us, Derek and I, with our, people love hunting videos. They love to come along on the journey, So those get me the most views, and I'm probably Derek as well. A lot of times, what you find in the hunt, but it doesn't always necessarily have to be what you find in your hunt. For me, I try to keep people entertained. I bring them with me, and we have fun. I like to act like people, like my subscribers are there with me, and I'm talking to them. It's like me and you, like me and them. So I think as long as you can get people and keep them engaged, and I can't always do that. Some people, you have a 20-minute video, and sometimes your average is 6 minutes long that people are tracking. Because people have short attention spans. So I would say don't focus on that either. I mean, you definitely want to make sure you're hitting your averages and everything. Make sure you got the little check mark to make sure you're all within your averages. But if you're way below, then just kind of go through that video, and maybe your audio was really trash. I think the biggest advice, I think, Derek, I know you agree with me on this one, is holding the camera like horizontally if you have a phone, not upwards, and not shaking it all over the place, and just making sure that people can see what you see, and it's a good steady quality video. And then make sure your audio, invest in a $5 mic at Walmart, or maybe buy one a little bit more expensive on on Amazon for $10 or $15. Get a mic, hook that up, and make sure your audio is good. Because if people are Hot Wheels, then you're gonna lose me. You're gonna lose Derek. You're gonna lose everybody. They're not gonna want to watch. You'd be better off not saying a word and some people do that. Some people do hunting videos and they don't talk. They just have some music in the background or nothing, and they're just taking you with. So if you're a shy person, like I've told some people, if you're shy, you don't want to show your face, you don't have to. Just go and face the camera away from yourself, or do videos modifying cars, and don't show your face. You don't have to. So you don't have to. So there's a lot you can do, and not just with diecast. I mean, you could you could do anything that you want to do and put it on YouTube. There just has to be people that have a common interest in whatever you're interested in. So there is for a lot of things.
Yeah, amen to that. The quality experience is very important. And, just like you said, nobody wants to watch somebody that's, you can't understand what they're saying or you can't see what they're seeing. It's very important. But, and just like you said, that's why I encourage people, if they're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but they say that they're uncomfortable filming themselves or something, just practice.
Yeah.
Just practice. Go into your own collection and act like you're hunting. Film it, and then figure out what you can do better. As long as you're constantly improving, improving the experience, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody started somewhere, and there's still stand-up comedians and people that go onto the stage to this day that are super famous that throw up before they go on stage, or they get almost sick. Yeah, they're just really nervous. It doesn't ever go away. And I think that's the case. Or they just
blow it. They just blow it on stage.
Yeah, it's like, I've had videos where I do really well and some videos to this day that don't do very well. But you realistically, you just move on. You just write that video off. You leave it there. You don't delete it. You want to leave it there and remind yourself, hey, that video didn't do good. So you move on to something else.
Yeah, and at the end, you have to remember and reflect why you're doing it. Like, the reason why I do it is because I don't want to be YouTube famous. I don't want to make a bunch of money, whatever. If that comes, it comes, whatever. Mm-hmm. The reason why I do it is because I love it, and I really enjoyed it. And doing this whole thing, it actually opened up a new passion, which is video editing. Something that I've always wanted to do, and I never had a reason to do it. So that's another thing that I really enjoy. But if you were to ask me the same thing, what would you recommend to people? Just work, get better, and most of all, just enjoy it. Just do it because you enjoy it. Don't do it for any reason, like, I want 10,000 subs in under a year. I want to be YouTube famous, blah, blah, blah. Just do it because you enjoy it and that you interacting with your subscribers brings you joy.
I think a lot of people, that's a good point. I think a lot of people can see your joy in what you do when you actually love it, and that makes them more engaged. They see, just like watching Hewitt's and how just cut and dry, he doesn't do it any editing or anything like that. But you can see how passionate he is about diecast cars. His wall, just his, craziness of cars behind him, and how generous he is, and you can tell he just gets down in the basement and just gets to it, with modifying cars. He just gets in the zone, Hewitt zone.
Yeah.
and then it has a little beep afterwards. Yeah. Hewitt zone. Beep.
Smoke detector. And I'm glad that you brought Hewitt's up again, because he looks like he's been doing it for years, doesn't he? He looks so comfortable, and he just looks like he's enjoying it. And it's not all about the mail call, getting the mail call, and people are sending me a bunch of stuff. He's like genuinely excited about like cars in his collection, or cars that he finds, or cars that he gets in mail calls.
Yeah.
He sits there and looks at them and analyzes them and points out everything about them. That's what it's about, is just enjoying and loving what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And then, a lot of times I think some of the guys that get really huge lose touch with all that, and it becomes a job or a daunting task to continue to hit those crazy numbers. You know, I think I think it gets sad to a certain point where when they lose touch with they stop commenting, they stop replying to comments, like altogether. And I see accounts that aren't even that big, that don't reply to people. I'm looking through their comments. I'd like to know, and they're not replying to anybody. People are just like, hey, what, just asking simple questions or saying how much they love their channel. And as a content creator, and you have all these subscribers and these people that are watching your stuff, you can't even like reply to them. Like, that's really sad. I'm sorry, it's just really sad.
That goes back to the engagement thing. It's very important because in the end you have to remember that, okay, everybody that I know in this community still has a day job.
Yeah.
They don't do YouTube full time.
Yeah.
But think about the subscribers too. Everybody has a job. They have school. They have their own lives. They have things that are going on. They're taking out time out of their day and their life to watch your content that you put together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I share the same frustration and concern with that, a lot of these really big channels, and even some of the small ones I've seen, they just don't respond to their comments for whatever reason, or they'll give it a thumbs up or they'll give it a love, but, there's no interaction. And I don't understand that, because like I said, these are everyday people that are taking time out of their lives to watch your content.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know about you, but when I post a new video, and I've been posting podcasts on YouTube as well, and I love feedback on things, positive or negative. I love feedback. Like, some of my earlier videos, I can't hear what you're saying, or, it was kind of shaky, or just anything. I don't care if people are blunt. I mean, be kind, right? Don't be a jerk. But if you give me some positive feedback or negative feedback, it's really helpful to people, but you have to have a thick skin to a certain extent as soon as you get bigger on YouTube.
Yeah, and don't tell us the music sucks, because because first of all, Mark makes his own music, and I've listened to the artist that I use, VIP, and I've listened to him for years, and I like that music, and I know that not everybody's going to like it, but I'm not going to change it because you don't like the music. If you don't like the music, then turn the volume down.
Yeah, turn the volume down, or just pick another channel, honestly, because it's like, I honestly, I love Derek's background music. It's calming to me. I like my own that I do. I make, a lot of my own music. Rapid Nismo. I made his one for him, and he plays it. It's his intro, and he loves it, and he asked me to do it, so I did it for him, And like that's just like being, a part of the community, is to not think that you're better than anybody else, that you're above anybody else, and to help each other out. Somebody is nice and asks you to, like, hey, could you do me a favor and can I get a beat? If they're not being grubbers about it, they're not like harassing you and expecting something from you, then help them out, But, I think you and I probably both, and, a lot of channels have dealt with people that just gimme, gimme, gimme. They just want free stuff, and they demand it, It's like, send me a Datsun 510. No, I'm not sending you a 510, because you're just demanding it, Don't be that guy or girl. Like, don't be that person.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind, but we're not stupid. We can see when you're trying to take advantage of us.
Yeah.
On a quick flip side, when we were talking about, being engaged, and that these are people that take time out of their way, you said something, I can't remember, that brought this up too. And it's really important not to get butthurt.
Yeah.
If you're a collector creator, and you're involved with people, and you don't see somebody that you don't see another creator for a little while, it's most likely that there's probably something going on, or they're busy. Yeah, because, like I said, all of us work or go to school. I don't know anybody in this community who does this full time. So just keep that in mind. Try not to get butthurt if another creator that you're friends with on YouTube or whatever doesn't respond or isn't able to watch. Because I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people and a lot of content that I have not been able to catch up with.
Yeah.
Because life is that busy,
Yeah.
Being a family guy, having a full-time job, trying to get out and shoot video and edit video. I mean, it's a lot of time. So
it's a lot of time. It's very time consuming.
If I could give one piece of advice is try to understand that everybody has their own life and they got their stuff going on as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we've all been there, and we've probably all gotten a little, like you said, butthurt at some point. Like, you're like, I haven't seen that person around at all. Like, I haven't seen them comment, but then you put it in perspective when you're on the other side of that, and you're not really watching that many people's videos because you don't have time. So, yeah, you'll always see that person. They'll come around when they've got time, and then you'll see them all over your channel or post, comments on 5 video because they're just playing catch up, And, it's nice when you reach out to people every once in a while and to say, hey, man, enjoyed the video. Sorry I haven't been around. But it's not expected. You don't owe anybody that, It's nice when someone does that. I try to do that every once in a while. Yeah, so, yeah, but don't get all upset when people aren't around much or commenting much.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Just got to understand.
Yes, sir. So here's a question the same question that I asked David. I said, David, I know we're both grown men, but what do you want to be when you grow up? Because I know that it's been kind of, I don't know, just hard finding something that you really love. I know you're doing mechanic work now. But where would you like to end up? Like, what do you like doing something for like a living? I know you love cars, so where would you like to end up?
That's a great question, and I was hoping that you would ask me that question. So I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. Again, when I started my YouTube channel, my point was not to get rich or famous or anything like that. But if I had to pick an end goal, the thing that I would love to do the most when I grow up is to be able to do this full time, to be able to have a full-time hunting channel, to be able to travel the country, and visit other diecasters in our community, go hunt with them, do a feature, do interviews, stuff like that. That's really what I would like to do. Take for God's sakes, my wife wants to go to Europe. How, even though I heard it sucked, and I'm sure you have too, I would love to go hunt diecast in Europe.
Oh, they've got some crazy cars over there. That's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's like, all these makes and models that we've never heard in the States. And, there's so much to see out there. So what I would want to do the most is to be able to go out and see that and do what I love doing the most, which is, diecast. This is what I love to do. So, again, not trying to be rich and famous, but you know what? If I could make a good enough wage off of YouTube to, be able to do this full time, you're damn right I'd do it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind, being able to, maybe not like maybe necessarily like a full-time living, because, with me, I detail cars outside of working for Lexus and customer service, and get pretty burnt out with customer service, to be honest with you, just dealing with self-entitled people all day long. It gets a little old, but I do enjoy detailing cars, man. I really like it. So if I could get into like a detailing channel and do that kind of stuff too, and travel around and detail Lamborghinis, and I'll be doing an R8 hopefully soon, next couple months, V10 R8, pretty new one. And that just being able to get the opportunity to like get my hands on those cool cars is really cool. But to be able to, the same thing that you said, yeah, be able to go see other diecast guys that you normally like, you just can't because life happens and you got a full-time job and flights aren't cheap and all that stuff, and you got to take a week off. So yeah, it'd be nice, and maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But definitely, you're definitely putting the right effort into it, growing really fast, and I can just hope to follow your footsteps in that account, So.
You are creating your own path. You're not following my footsteps, and I'm proud of you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just with the, I look up to how much you've grown and everything, as as a person and a content creator. I just want to look at the the correct things you've done and kind of, I'm not trying to copy you by any means, but just it's there. My best friend is doing really well. I want to make sure that I take your advice and and things on how to become a bigger channel, have more people.
Can we just air hug through Zoom right now?
Air hug it through Zoom, yeah. With arms wide open.
With arms wide open.
Under the moonlight. Oh, man. Anywho, wow. So we got about, we're going for another 8 minutes here. So hang in with us, guys. We're going for 2 sessions, and I hope this one sounds a lot better than the first one, quality-wise. How often do you get in trouble from your wife for bringing too many Hot Wheels home or for being gone too long? Because I've been down there with you, and I know that Derek will get on a roll where he's like, I got to check this store, and then we're going to check this one out, and then it just turns into a never-ending process. So I want the truth.
On the contrary, this was a question I would hope you wouldn't ask. But
yes!
Yeah!
Yeah!
You know what? I have the most loving, patient, and supportive wife I could have, because you're absolutely right. I do go overboard, and I get in trouble a lot. A lot.
I'm not gonna lie.
Would I recommend people do, what I do? And, no. But, I'm slowly but surely learning the boundaries that, I can do with diecast as opposed to align to our goals, our personal goals. We're hoping to buy a house next year. So
yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. But yeah, she's very understanding. She's very patient. She supports me 110%. And I love her to death. Could I do better? Yeah, I could do better. But yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Well, there's you got another year to try a little harder, and I will getting married soon. I'll find out how long it takes for her to not be so excited about me hunting so much, because it probably will happen. But I can guarantee you that Kimber supports my passion for diecast and for my YouTube, my homies and my supporters and followers. She loves them to death, and she gets excited, and she looks, it's adorable. She looks through all my comments and responds to people and stuff, and she just, I really want her to start her own channel too, whatever it may be. I think she's hilarious. She's got a phenomenal, huge personality. She's a little person, but she has a huge personality, and I would love to, and she listens to these podcasts, and I don't know, she's just amazing.
She's a mirrored female image of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Personality, everything, wittiness, everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I just love being able to to be able to, we roast each other all the time, like, on a pretty daily basis. Like, I just sit there and roast her, and she just dies laughing instead of just getting all upset. She just starts laughing and dying, and she's just like, I can't believe you just said that, or you just did that, so yeah. And we've been sick together this whole week, and yeah, and we didn't fight at all, so that was a accomplishment, because how it is being sick, you just get really edgy, so. And she's she's patient when she needs to be. She's she doesn't like being away from me, but I'm doing my podcast right now, and she's probably watching one of her shows downstairs, and completely content doing that. So, and she'll listen to this later on, and she'll laugh, of us just being goofballs. So she's coming on too. Hopefully I might do a podcast with Kimber tomorrow. So I'm really wanting to just have her ask questions to me, come up with a list of things, and kind of just corner me and stuff like that. So I'll try to get her on tomorrow or the next day. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
That would be awesome. You can count me in for tuning in.
Oh, really, buddy? Are you sure about all that?
Always.
Always and forever. Always and forever. A little Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, I love technology. Always and forever.
I could throw a football over there in their mountain.
Napoleon, you can shut your mouth, Napoleon. You can leave. Napoleon, you can leave. Oh, man.
Why don't you go make yourself a dang quesadilla?
Just a bunch of one-liners. We didn't have enough. Fast and Furious quotes, but I'm sure we'll be doing another podcast soon. But I want everybody to know about Derek and I's, like, our Fast and Furious quotes. We just go back and forth, like, especially when we're like in each other's presence. When I'm visiting him or he's up here, we're just like rattling off Fast and Furious quotes. But I think the funniest one that we do is when Dom is like, I never knocked on nobody, but then we just combine it all together. I never knocked on nobody. Like, it's just all one, like, just a sound. He's like, I never knocked on nobody. It's just like, I never knocked on nobody. It's just like, what?
It's like, is that even English? What is he saying?
Yeah, you got Johnny Tran. Like, whatever happened to Johnny Tran? He just disappeared. He's not in any of the Fast and Furious movies after that, which is a shame. So he's like speaking perfect English. He's like, came into my house, disrespected my whole family, and then you got, I never know nobody. You're like, what is he saying? Is he having a stroke?
Yeah, maybe his blood sugar lowers. I don't know.
Starts slurring his words. He's diabetic.
And then another thing we do is we switch up stuff, like kind of like what you were doing on the live stream the other night, where you're like, kiss my loafers, Dad.
Kiss my loafers, Dad. My shoes, kiss them.
Kiss my flippy floppies, Ted.
Oh, man. No, I still to this day wanted to start like a Fast and Furious musical. I never knocked on nobody. Came into my house.
Kiss my shoes right now, Ted.
40 weight, 50 weight. We got no engines.
40 weight sounds right.
Yeah, so, gosh, did you hear my Fast and the Furious podcast? I'm going to do another one because I was like it's kind of out of it a little bit, but just how ridiculous the Fast and Furious movies have gotten. It's just, they've gotten so bad, and they've lost that spice, The first ones that you watched, they gave you, like, they inspired you, And now these ones that come out, you're just like, this is so dumb. So dumb. It's not even entertaining anymore. So
yeah, because they got away from the root of the attraction of the movie, which was the cars.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate. I had something funny to say about Jesse. Like, I think this is what I remembered. I was saying to Kimber yesterday. Jesse, they killed him off in the first movie, and he so desperately wants to come back. and be in another movie. But I was saying, like, hey, there's been people that have died in the movies and came back, and then there's somebody that died in real life and still came back. If they wanted you back, they'd bring you back. Literally, Paul Walker died in real life, and they still brought him in. They still continued on with him in the movies. Yeah, so it's like
poor Jesse.
Yeah.